Welcome back, guys. I know, same hat, same clothes, same day as the last video as the ending was shot in because I didn't want to stop working. It's only about 4:30 in the afternoon, and I usually like work till about 7-ish. So yeah, let's keep going. Coming up in this video, dropping the car down, put the front subframe underneath a bit, putting the engine trans in to give the car some weight, and who else knows what trouble I may be getting into on the car. Keep on watching. And let's find out and see what I do. And here's the star of the show. Saw the last video, put the tires, wheels, whole DSC, spring relocation kit, and all that fun stuff. Like I said last time around, not too worried about the axle position. That will get done later when the front end goes on, or the front subframe, the control arms go on. Alright, guess it's time for me to get back to work. Set you guys up on a time lapse. I'm going to drop down the rear of the car on the ground with the tires, drop the rotisserie down, all the front part of the rotisserie down as far as it can go, roll it back, go find some bricks, and chalk the car up. That way it doesn't roll through my garage door. Alright, let me get back to work. Yep, that's pretty fun, doing this stuff by yourself. I think like I did it last time. I'm gonna lift up underneath on the backside there, put a jack stand underneath a bit, jack the front up, and hopefully I don't kill myself in the process doing putting the front subframe in. I'm gonna try a trick I saw on Facebook, on YouTube, that somebody did with their first gen. John from Vinyl Village Garage uses a 7/16 board socket, which is about a 5/8 pin, or 5/8 hole. Yeah, the socket itself is 5/8 total diameter, which is the same as the pinholes. Because on the left side of the car, there's a true 5/8 hole, and it's slotted on this side. Because most things are built, the left side is the locating side for everything on a car, or an airplane, or an airplane, car, left side is the primary side. So, we'll throw myself up on the time lapse again, and see if we can get the subframe in here. Okay, I cheated a little bit. I noticed I was going to use the 1/4 inch socket, or the 7/16 1/4 inch socket trick, but I didn't have to because rotisserie has bolts that are 5/8 in diameter and they fit perfect in there. And that's how I lined the front end up. So yeah, transmission is right there. And I'm sure you guys have seen the blue tarp in the background. What year now I've been doing the videos. Underneath there is the LS motor for it. It's a 6.2 liter. Came out of 2008 Tahoe. Yeah, was it Tahoe? Yeah, it's Tahoe. What was the other one? Yukon. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Still, it's a GMT 900 it came out of. It has strict flow 220 heads on it, BTR intake, stock rockers with the BTR trunnion upgrade, BTR cam, stock crank, believe it or not. It's got got the rods it has in there. Topstar rods. Pistons are Howard's pistons, if I remember right. That might be the last engine I had built. I have it written down. But yeah, it's underneath there. Unfortunately, my back is telling me I need to stop for today and go chill for a bit before I hurt myself. So yeah, take the night off, grab a beer, and then get back at it in the morning. But coming up next will be dropping the motor and trans in. See if that actually, the 4L80 fits, which I think it does. It looks like it should. Should be plenty of room. So cool, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to get done in my Christmas break from work. Something, car sitting on something of suspension. Woohoo! Get closer and closer and closer. Alright, coming up next, pulling out the motor, pulling out the trans, make the two together, dropping it in. Oh, next day, let's get this thing this installed and the engine installed. It's gonna be the first time of me actually ever having this combination in this car. Because originally it came with a 73 350 small block and a turbo 350 trans. And it ran, did its job, was able to drive around for a bit until I tore the car apart. So cool. Alright, put a time lapse, and I'll drag this out and then yeah, get the two married together and see if we can't get it in the car. There she is. It was, like I said, LS motor out of a, actually I remember last night after I did the one segment, like I said earlier, it was out of 08 Yukon Denali. That took me a minute to remember. But yeah, that's what I was talking about. This motor that's going to the car. There's the 4LA ADE transmission. I'm going to leave the stock torque converter on it now for some weight, so we can put it in the car, get it, you know, like it actually has an interior and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so there it is. But one thing I'm definitely going to do is I'm going to pop the intake off, set that to the side. That way I can put some better tape over the holes, or over the intake holes. And I'm going to put the cherry picker on it and the engine leveler I got from Harbor Freight. I love that store because it's cheap and it fits right in my budget. So yeah, I'll take it off, tape it off, doesn't scratch that up. And yeah, see if we can go up the stand here and get in the car. I do have motor plates for it. Front and rear, but I'm not going to use them right now because one, I just don't feel like messing with it. I just want weight in the car. Two, for guys who use these Dirty Dingo slider mounts, let me know if you like them. I don't. It makes them sit too high because when I've had this all together before, sitting in the subframe a couple years ago. Because originally I was just going to use the slider mounts, jam it in there, and see how that would fit. But unfortunately, take off the cowl panel or the outer cowl panel here and say, wait a minute here, that's a lot of rust. And then look on there, the windshield pops out. The next thing you know, I spent a year rebuilding a body of a car, and 40 some videos later, this is the end result. So now I finally get to put this back in the car. Yeah, get cherry picker, set that down, pop the intake off, tape up the ports, and then get that thing up in the air so you can put the motor mounts on it. Alright, I forgot a few things that since the last time I put this thing together. A couple of bolts actually 4 of the bolts I got were too long from Home Depot because when I went to go put this together last time, I asked me what happened to the bell housing bolts originally. They went somewhere. So I went to Home Depot, bought some bolts, and come to find out some of the bolt sizes were too long. And I forgot that I had that extra washer on a couple of them because they're blind holes. So like the one right there are blind holes and had an extra washer to the bottom out. But the lower ones in the bell housing on the other side, they're a complete through hole, and I was able to run that through, and that one bolt right there is shorter. What's weird, this came out of, like I said, I think in 97, if I remember right. So it's set for a small block and not an LS. But whenever I go to have this thing built and have it sent out for the bell housing machine off to use the SFI approved bell housing on it, I'll make sure to tell them that I needed one for an LS. But for now, for mock-up, this is what you're looking at. Yeah, guess time to get the Dirty Dingo slider mounts on. And yeah, like I said, I'm not happy with them. I think they make the engine sit too high. And you know, I might go get some of the ICT billet mounts because they only raise it a little over 100 thousandths of an inch, which is fine because then I can work with that when I do the motor plates and get that the center line, left to right, and the angle of the engine more correct because this thing sits in the frame like this, man. It just I don't know, I'm being lazy and using the slider mounts just to hold it in there for the time being, but the pinion angle is like so steep on this, it's literally 5 or 6 degrees down in the back. And really, I want to drop this thing down to where the pansom is sitting right on that cross member. Which going to leave me to other problems. We'll get into that later. So yeah, I'm gonna get the slider mounts on, and maybe we can stab this thing in here and see how well it fits. There we have it. Motor's in, trans is in. Had a couple problems. One, because you saw the time lapse, that I put the slider mounts in backwards, so the motor was sitting like back up to here. There was a bracket on the side of the transmission. That one, I guess, was the truck for wire harness or something like that. That was hitting the side, and then the transmission core line tubes that they left in there smacked up against the side of the trans tunnel. So to break them to get them out of the way, take off the shifter linkage and take that bracket off. One big problem I don't like about the dirty dingo mounts, like I said, they're high in the car, or make the engine sit high in the car, but it gives you plenty of pan clamps down in there, which is nice because it gives it, I have room for the turbo drains down in there. You see plugs like right about there, but it sits the motor at like 6.5 degrees down this way, so that's too much. So when I go do the motor mounts or the motor plates, I'll have to correct that. But I actually may just buy the ICT billet mounts and see if we'll get that more in the correct alignment and get the motor to drop down further. Just because I want the motor down and back as far as I can for center of gravity stuff, and I just kind of like it. It will give me more room for activities up in the engine bay. Everything I like about this too, looks like there's gonna be plenty of room up front for whatever turbo piping I need to put in there. That's pretty, so this is kind of neat for me to see like this, because like I said, I've never had this engine and transmission in this car. It's pretty cool. Okay, a couple things coming up are I need to order a bunch of parts. I think I'm gonna do the Pro Touring F-body control arms with their Viking Crusader coilover kit for this. I need to order a bunch of the front end hardware kit for this. I have most of the bolts and all that stuff for it, but when I take it apart, the fenders and the header panel and the lower valance, stuff broke, rusted out. There we go, maybe you guys can see me. Yeah, so all new stuff would be nice to have for a change. That way I can just, hey, look, bolts fit. And I have to chase the threads and all that bullshit that goes along with rusted parts. So yeah, I'm gonna go grab the cross member or the radiator support, grab that, put that in, and maybe bring that shit down off the wall and put the fenders on and really get them close and kind of stick them on there, and then it kind of like a complete car, more complete of a car than what it has been. All right, so this is why I put the motor in transit, so I can work on all the front end sheet metal. Yeah. What you can see is here, it's got the tubular radiator support, got from Ron Rhodes, down to he's about 20 minutes south of me, for the front end here. So I mean, I fit perfect for the most part. Yeah. Gaps and stuff, of course, are horrendous. I knew that going into it because these fenders weren't perfect at all. Matter of fact, I thought I was going to fix this one, but the more I see it and the more amount of work I put in the rest of this car in the back half to make it just right, I'm going to see if I can try to find a new fender for this. The driver's side was replaced already at one point in time. I just had an accident or something, and that's not too bad. But this thing, I forgot how bad it was. They got rust holes there, rust hole there, rust hole there. That whole entire underneath is trashed. Up in there is trashed. All the way around the wheel lip is trashed. So I think I'm just gonna see if I can find one, and I don't care if it's used or I have to buy an AMD one, just because well, time versus money. I'd rather put time into something that will be better result at the end than spending a week or two on fixing this and chop that little bit of rust out and then chopping off let's see here, all this stuff to get all the rust out of there, rust hole here, and yeah, I mean, if somebody wants it, they can have it. But on this side, can you see from here? No, you might be stuff from the outside. At some point in its life, in here, this fender, somebody came along. This is what it looked like after the fact. I tried to do a little bit of shrinking and stuff, but they had a bunch of holes in here for where the emblem went. And overall, this side don't fit too bad. So I literally just threw this on there and half-assed it, just to see how bad it would be. And honestly, this side fits pretty good. The other side just, I don't think the juice ain't worth the squeeze on it. So yeah, that's why I said I want the motor in, want the trans in, want some kind of weight in it. I may throw the sandblaster back in it, the concrete bag, and a few other things inside the car to give it some more weight, like as the interior was in, the glass was in, a couple other things. Maybe I find around here to show in there. I'll probably end up putting the steering linkage back on, just to have, like I said, just to have that weight as the car as it sits. So yeah, like I said, I got to order a bunch of parts. Probably order control arms, bolt kit, shim kit, fender, and then see where we go from there. I know for people, I've been putting out a bunch of videos just because I had a week off for Christmas. Yeah, here we go. Had a week off for Christmas, and well, 11 days off, 11.5 days off. So I was able to knock a bunch of stuff out. 'Cause normally during the week, just like Tuesdays, Fridays, and the weekend, like a couple hours on the weekend, if I have nothing really going on, I'll work on the car. So I'm going to slow down the videos for a little bit, maybe at least one a week, one every week and a half. We'll see, what time and really money dictates of how far I go. So this is probably going to be a short video on this, just because to have something in have something in the pocket and whatnot. Like I said before, encourage you all to go back and watch the previous videos on the back half of the car, because that was pretty cool. I never realized I'd be able to do all that stuff to a car, and never thought I had the gumption to be able to do it. So cool. All right, thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing. And if you guys just want to bullshit about cars, I'm about that too. I'm okay with it. All right, thanks. Till next time.